This is the third in a series of Windows file handling tutorials. This session is on copy and move. We start by going to Start and My Computer, and we're going to talk about moving. We're going to go to a drive, and I'm going to create a new folder so I can move some things into it. It's going to create a new folder here, and I'm going to, for illustration, I'm going to call it My Stuff. And so we've created a folder here that I'm going to move some things into, and move and copy have three different methods that you can generally use in Windows. The first method is use the file and folder tasks moving and copying functions. The second one is called copy and paste or cut and paste for the move, and the third one is called drag and drop. Now the first one I'm going to show you is called the file and folder tasks option, and I'm going to copy this folder, and I'm going to select a folder to copy here. Let's say we'll copy this folder here, and we'll go over here and say copy this folder, and it opens up a little window, and we can choose where we want to copy this folder to. And we're back. I'm going to said we created a folder here called My Stuff, and we're going to put this in My Stuff, and we're going to select that one, and we're going to say copy, and it's going to make a copy of the OGG files folder into My Stuff. And if I open up My Stuff, you'll see there's a copy of it there. Now you can also copy files. That was a folder that we copied. If we wanted to copy this file, for example, you can do this with folders. You can right click on the object that you've got it, and you can say copy, and then you can go where you want it. In this case, we're going to say My Stuff. We're going to open that up, and I'm going to right click into that and say paste, and that pastes the copy of that, in this case a file, but a folder would have worked the same way. Now the third method that you use for copying files, you have to open up another window of My Computer, and that we're going to open up this other window of My Computer, and we're going to say we're going to open it up here, and we're going to choose a file here, let's say out of this window here, and it could be a folder, and we're going to right click on that and drag it up here to My Stuff. You can barely see that, and drop it on My Stuff, and say move here. And now what it's done is it's taken it out of there and put it into My Stuff, and there it is right there. The files are there. So those are the three methods. The first method is to use the file and folder, and you have to highlight one of if it's a file, it references everything as file, and if it's a folder, it references everything as folder. And you can use the file and folder tasks to copy things, or you can right click on an object, and you can use the copy function, and then go over somewhere and right click again in the other location and say paste. That's the copy and paste. And the third one is to use the drag and drop. So those are the three methods. Now move is very similar. Move, however, has one big difference, and that is that the object, the file or the folder, gets deleted from the original location and moved to the new location. So it'll only exist in the new location after you're finished. So if we wanted to move something from, let's say, here, pick something here. Let's take this folder here, and if we want to move this folder, we've highlighted it, we say move it, and say where do you want to move it? Well, I'm going to move it over here to My Stuff, and I'm going to say move, and it's going to take it out of here, and it moved it. Now if where you want to move it, let's say, is on a different drive, I'll show you another method, and we'll move something to a totally a different drive. For example, if we wanted to move this file here, I could right click on it, and I could say cut, and then I could go to another location, say example my Sony thumb drive here, and I could open that up, and if I right click on that and say paste, it'll actually move it from the original location to this target location. So it'll no longer exist over here at all. It's gone, and it only exists over on the Sony drive. If we want to do the drag and drop, it's similar. But in the drag and drop, remember, we have to have another instance of the my computer open. So let's take that same object that we just moved and say let's drag that. I'm going to right click and drag it back over to the C drive, this iDrive, and release it, and I'm going to say move it, and it's now removed from the Sony drive and put back on the hard drive. So those are the three methods of copy and move. The three methods boil down to either using the file and folder tasks, the cut and or copy and paste, or the drag and drop. Our next session will be on the print, rename, and delete functions. So that ends our session 3 on copy and move.